What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build and kind of going over what they do and talking about what they could do differently and what they are doing well. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful and informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below if you've gotten the mythic llama backbling for the survivor quest this season. There's this mythic llama, and I think you have to win 10 games with 10 eliminations for the final stage. And I've gotten asked about this a bunch this week. Seems like a decent amount of players are getting to that final stage. So I'm wondering if you guys would be interested in a video that kind of like talks about some tips for getting that final stage of the llama done, where you need to win 10 games with 10 eliminations. So let me know that down in the comments below. And let's get right into it. This player eliminates me. Didn't know where I wanted to land this game. I thought about going Frenzy, but there wasn't a radio tower there, so we just ended up going here. I'm on board with Izzy. They had a good thermal DMR aim. They fried me. Spectate them. They got the lava battlehound skin. They know there's another player underneath them. That chest over there has been opened, so that player's likely somewhere over there. They're looking for this kill. Unfortunately, they have no shield yet, though, so they probably... I wouldn't be worried about getting this kill if I was them. This is the player they're looking for. They placed that business turret. This should be a kill. Never mind, he gets eliminated. But what I was going to say is, I think pressuring those early kills is fine. But there were two cooler spawns at the top part there that I'm not sure if he got them or not, because, you know, we were getting eliminated. But not having shield at that point in the game is kind of rough, because other players are going to be coming over from the other side of the POI. So it's like, I like pressuring early kills as well. I probably do it a bit too much sometimes, but after a little while, you need to just be more worried about getting shields, because you will get third-partied, especially at a POI like Brutal, which has like a lot of launch pads and stuff. But even in regular POIs, like, you know, eliminating the players around you if you can, awesome, but you also want to make sure you get shield, as well as weapons, obviously. But like, he had, you know, DMR, shotgun, SMG. He had like okay weapons. He just didn't have shield, and that kind of cost him this kill. I think this player was very weak when they ended up getting the kill there. And had the initial player we were spectating had shield, they might have been able to win that fight. That was after this player had like picked up their business turret too. If the turret was there, it would have gone even worse for the player that we were initially spectating. There was another player over here still. I heard their slap effect expire. So they're still relatively close. I don't know if this person has... Oh, never mind, never mind. I was going to say I don't know if they have on the go bag, but if they did, they would have been getting something. Getting augments now. I wish we could see which augments they take. And so far with these Vault POIs, Relentless Retreat is the only one that's been opened. They get a green check on them when they've been opened. So if you are somewhere near a Vault POI, that can be like helpful information to know. He's going to go towards this launch pad building here. There's a player underneath him shooting. I like getting this place. If I'm early on like looting Brutal, I like to pad to here and then loot this up a bit. Maybe go to Cabby and get shockwaves. And usually if I cleared Brutal fast, I can still get back to like the radio tower in time. Sounds like there's a player in this building. It may have been the NPC, but I don't think it was. I don't know if it's Anakin Skywalker. And they does not have the high ground, so he's going back to the pregame lobby. Still, like, not happy with this player's loot. Like, I feel like it's pretty unlucky to loot all that they have and still have a white Havoc AR and no utility. And like here, he didn't get to loot that kill the way he would like. I doubt this is, you know, the choice of items he would have liked to have had there. Yeah. This is what it is sometimes when you get caught looting. Got his Maven out. And somehow wins that fight with the SMG. That was rough. I feel like both those players kind of played that like weirdly. And you saw there he went to aim in with the Maven, and like aiming with the shotgun can be fine sometimes, especially if that player was still gliding. But I feel like a lot of players kind of fall into like the habit of like they feel like they need to aim to hit shots with their shotgun, and that's not good. I feel like it's very important to be good with shotguns in this game, to have a sensitivity that you're comfortable hip firing with, because like I said, there are times where you want to aim, but it's not an always thing. Like it's like few and far between. I feel like there's like certain situations, usually when you're playing by cover, or if your opponent is doing something where they're not going to be able to move their character as much, playing right shoulder peek, the opponent doesn't know you're there, things like that. But in just an open fight like how we had there, that player like sliding and jumping around, it's going to be hard for the player that we're spectating to track him with their ADS sensitivity, because typically aiming lowers your sensitivity so much, and in a lot of shotgun fights, people are going to be very mobile. Players running through their gold. They somehow still got that kill, but like you saw, they had a very small amount of HP left, and they were just trading damage with an SMG. And like the player that we watched them initially kill was kind of the same way. This player's been playing like a lot of 50-50s like that, where it's just damage trade with an SMG, and sometimes you win it, but even if you do win it, it often leaves you very weak afterwards. So he's gonna decide to not go for the radio tower, I guess, or he's gonna go for this one over here, which can be fine, I guess. That's another thing you could do. If I loot brutal quickly in the radio towers here, you can go like brutal into this, into cabby to buy shockwaves, into this radio tower over here, and you could do all that so fast, since brutal has pads to get you to that building, and then that building has pads to get you to wherever you need to go. Checking the hollow chest still. I personally wouldn't buy this gold AR here, so it's not the biggest deal, but the radio tower is going to be spawning in 6 seconds, and if he didn't check those hollow chests, he would have gotten there in like fine time, I think. And then you're going to get a gold one from killing the boss. So it's like the difference between purple and gold is not that big of a deal. Chooses to leave the ice wall behind. I don't think that's a good play. I think the ice wall is very, very good in zero build. And I feel like if you're using a Maven shotgun, you don't need the SMG. Like, it's nice to have, sure. There are situations where even when you have a Maven, that the SMG might be nice to have, but I think that you could drop the SMG there for the ice wall, and that like infinite cover utility item is so good. Or they could drop the business turret for it. I am not a fan of the business turret whatsoever. I know a lot of other people are, but it's just not very good versus decent players, in my opinion. Like, if you're fighting someone that's solid and that's going to be like a hard fight, I don't think the business turret is going to be the move. They go for the shockwaves over the business turret, which is nice. I typically have been running a 2-gun loadout since this patch with both shockwaves and the ice wall. I think the ice wall is very good, especially for endgame. We'll see if this player makes it to endgame, and if like the lack of an ice wall comes back to bite them. There's a player in front of them over here that they might not see because they might be tunnel vision on their augments. It looks like this is an AI though, the way they're moving. I don't know. Yeah, it's an AI. But had that been a real player, been unfortunate. Player in front of him at that ice wall over there, I'm pretty sure he saw that. Yeah, he definitely knows they're there. They're shooting. He should get timing on this. This should be a kill potentially. The twin mag arrow is so good. I would shockwave on this. Yeah, 100% go. Especially since he has an SMG, doesn't need to worry about. I'd shockwave again. He might not go for it, but I think the second shockwave there would have been nice. And the shotgun aim, unfortunately, is not it for this player. That stinks. I don't know why that was, because like they seemed decent. Like their AR aim was good, their SMG aim was like good when they were fighting earlier, but like their shotgun aim was just not it. And like I think shotguns are the most important weapon in Fortnite. Like ARs matter, but like the fights that often determine the outcome of the game are gonna be the fights like that, you know? You beam somebody, you're gonna have to go and push them, and then what happens as a result of that? He misses all his shot and loses the fight, while he had a huge HP advantage, I would imagine, because this player only has minis. So it's not like they healed up a bunch after that fight. This player chose to not take the shockwaves. Like I said, I've been using 2-gun. Some people aren't comfortable doing 2-gun with like the sharp tooth. Like I've been using sharp tooth and twin mag AR a lot. I'll take the exotic Maven when I can. I don't know why I've struggled to think of that name. I was trying to say mythic, but it's not mythic. The exotic Maven, if I come across that, I'm very happy to have that, especially with the 2-gun setup. But even the sharp tooth into twin mag AR, I think is very doable. And you get so much utility off the ice wall that I think it makes it even easier to play off that. If you're just going into every situation kind of damage trading and like barrel stuffing your opponent with no cover, then yeah, like Sharptooth Twin Mag Arrow is not going to be the play. But if you do play a little bit safer and play off your cover well, then I think it can definitely get the job done. Like, I've won a lot with that setup since this update dropped. But the spammy shotguns this season are also solid. Like, the Infiltrator shotgun and the Maven aren't my favorite, like the base versions, but like they're usable for sure. And that player we just watched like died using the Maven, but I think if they hit their shots there, they definitely get that kill. And this guy had to be like pretty weak too. He gives good opening AR attacks. Player just fought up ahead of the guy, and I assume he heard that. There's pizza there. I would much rather have pizza over the minis, but they might just be more concerned about like getting this timing on the fight, which I understand. Saw someone to his right. This person also has a crown, and they're John Wick. Oof, almost a kill, and this is where having shockwaves would be nice, because if they have shockwaves, they can just get on this person, and then the fact that they've hit him for like 180-ish, I want to say. It's like all shield and then 30 white, so 180. It would just be like a very easy kill if you get on this guy, but he's been able to heal. Doesn't seem like he has a slurp ticking, so yeah, Nolan can still get this kill. But had that player had a slurp, I think the lack of shockwaves would have really cost the player that we were watching. And that's why I like having shockwaves and the ice wall, because a lot of people are using the ice wall, so it's like you're not just going to get free kills on that. Very good AR aim to start that fight, though. And get slurps here. And it'll probably be blue rarity cache, but a blue Sharptooth is, you know, still an upgrade for them because they have a green one. And that's why slurps are so big. Like, had that John Wick had slurps, I think they just won that fight. They would have gotten more HP while the Nolan took a while to push him and been ticking up over the course of the fight. 12 opponents remain. Island is really far. I don't think he's going to be able to go for Island here. And I, like, very much want to control Island this season. This one is kind of a weird one because this is, like, the weirdest Island spawn in the game. Like, well, let me open the map on my controller. But this is, like, the weirdest Island spawn in the game because it's in this, like, weird, like, hilled area and it's so excluded, you know? But, like, had the Island spawned here, this is, like, another potential spawn for it in this zone, then like being up there and being able to like beam the entire lobby from up there with a twin mag arrow is just insane. So I've been playing for Island a lot this season. Not only do you have the ability to just sit up there and fry people, but also you don't have to like play against that, you know? If you're on the ground and someone on Island is, you know, beaming you with a twin mag arrow and they have good aim, it's rough. The twin mag arrow is so good. And we've seen it with like this Nolan getting beamed by the player we were previously spectating and the John Wick that this Nolan beamed. Like you just 250 to 0 someone so fast. Like both those fights could have like ended by the AR attacks, honestly. Like they could have gotten the kill that way. Had their aim been a little bit better in those situations. Player's gonna flip. Oh, dude, this is so annoying. That player keeps almost flipping the car, and when the car flips, the player is forced out. So had that truck flipped over there, that probably would have been a pretty decent engage for the Nolan to like get a few potential shots on him while that player is dealing with like getting forced out of their car. Unfortunately, they don't have shockwaves, so they probably wouldn't have been able to push that kill. But when someone flips a car, it's like a good opportunity to like beam them. Another reason why I like being on Island is because the games have been very dead recently with like all the mythic POIs. And like the mythic POIs and the radio towers, I feel like just make a lot of people die. Not only do you have a lot of people going to those mythic POIs and just like getting removed from the game immediately, but also you have a lot of people going and fighting over radio towers who maybe wouldn't have fought in that zone, you know? And so like just being on Island and being able to see so much of the map, I feel like is another reason why like controlling it can be good, because when you're just running around and the zone is this big and there's 10 people left, and this hasn't like 10 people force zone is not an absurdly dead game. I feel like that's like relatively standard for this season, at least in the matches I play, and it's just like hard to find people. So just being on the Island and being able to see so much of the map, I feel like makes it a lot easier to see people and find people than just like running around the map would. There was somebody in the bottom of the building in Mega there. I'm not gonna criticize this player's driving. I'm terrible at driving. You don't need anything from that loot. Unless you need a key. Getting to the final few players, and it seems like everybody has a victory crown in this lobby now. Like a lot of the names I've seen in the kill feed are gold. I've also seen recently people talk about how Island is guaranteed to be in 4th zone, but it's not going to be in 6th. So you could maybe make the guess that this zone is going to end somewhere over here or over here. Because Island can't be in 6th zone. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. I haven't like really thought about that or looked into that much, but that's like something I recently saw. I'm not sure who made it. It was on a TikTok though. But that is pretty interesting if true. Like, we have the forecast towers now, obviously, so, like, you don't really need to predict zone like that as much. But, if you aren't able to get forecast, which I would heavily recommend going for the forecast tower, if you aren't able to get it, that could be a little cheeky way for you to potentially predict how zone is going to be. Intense Dre has the heisted breacher shotgun. Not too often you see that. I wonder if they have the first shot augment and they're going to be hitting for 230 to the head because, sure, everybody knows this at this point, but the heisted breacher shotgun with the first shotgun augment can hit for 230 to the head. I don't know if they patched that. I didn't see anybody say they patched it, but they may have. Again, getting these tags is cool and all, but what is he going to do with them? No shockwaves. So unless this player just chooses to die here, this fight stinks. They're just like getting likely to get third partied, and that's why I always want to have mobility in zero build, because a lot of fights kind of are this, where it's just kind of a medium range tag trade. What are you doing? But yeah, a lot of fights just kind of, you know, you and an opponent are medium range trading some damage potentially, and when you get the upper hand and you can shockwave onto them, you can close that kill out. But right here, it's pretty impossible for him to close this kill. He would have had to get good opening AR tags and then get in the car, I guess, and then drive over there. But in that time, that player that had the sniper can easily like shockwave away and heal. And with like the chugs, with the slurp juice in the game, like, you just heal so fast. And this zone did kind of do what I said it would do based on the island thing, where it didn't go to island. I never really thought about that, but I saw that TikTok and I was like, oh, that does sound true. I like rarely have a game, if ever, that ends on island, you know? And the reason why I was saying that like just taking that fight with no potential to get the kill is really bad is because that player is playing off a snipe, so if they hit a headshot, his game's over. If they hit a body shot, he has to waste heals. And then all the while he's wasting time fighting something that isn't going to go anywhere, and like the other players in the lobby can third party them, you know? I think it's like very important to like get something out of your fights. I hate those fights that are just like long stalemates where nobody's doing anything. And then he drove around for a prolonged period of time and got tagged by wow, that's unfortunate. It hit him through the ice because like he's like placing it, I guess. Gets the slurp off. Bro, what is going on? I think that like his ice was like in a messed up spot where only one of it was like connected to the ground, and then the player broke that one and then all the other ones broke. That's so unlucky. And now this player has to worry about getting sniped in the back by that player too. He's getting shockwaved on. I'm surprised this player didn't push when he had him down to 120. This is bizarre. That's a free kill if he pushed when it was 120. Like hits another rocket from the sky potentially. GG's. I'm liking that sniper's odds in this game though, the one we saw across the way before, because these two players kind of have to interact with each other, where that sniper I think is just free to get zone if they want. There might be another person in the bottom of this castle too. I think I heard something, and I doubt it was the anime lady. It seemed like she went more to the side towards Cabby. It's possible she came in here though. And again, no movement, so it is going to be hard for this player to rotate with other players around him. If he had movement right now, you know, Rocket Ram, I'm not the biggest fan of it, But he could just rocket ram in his own and do like the low rocket ram, you know? Or he could shockwave in his own and be fine here. But like he has to rotate early and hope that no one shoots him in the back. This is good. I like the early rotation. I think if you don't have mobility, you don't want to try to wait and late rotate. Unfortunately, someone died to the Deku smash. Still a player behind him. This is rough. This is not a fight you want because that player is behind him still. You just need to get in his zone, man. Like, if I was this player, I would just be trying to get away from here. Like, that other guy fighting with the Deku Smash is so good for you because you know that player's occupied, so you could potentially get, like, over here and not be penched. But the way he, like, kind of went, I feel like he's, like, very likely to get penched, potentially. I like that he left early, though. A lot of players just, like, perma late rotate, and when you don't have movement, it's so hard to get anything done there. You see this other player has movement, so they can late rotate just fine and not have to worry about getting shot in the back by this Nolan chance. Now he has to worry about being penched again because the other player is likely coming from behind him. And he's just like very limited on what he can do since he has no mobility. Luckily, he has the ice wall, so no matter where he goes, he has cover, which is good. But not having movement is also like very limiting, I think. And I get that using Twin Mag IR and Sharptooth Pump is kind of, it can be clunky or rough sometimes. I feel like you just have to really avoid 50-50s. And play more like kind of like structured or methodical, and like since you have the constant ice wall, you can do that. This should be a kill. Nice, that's perfect. And he knows the other player is going to be coming from behind him. He might actually win this game now. The only thing is that player has the launcher, which is super annoying. He could check that loot, but it's not like he's super desperate for anything. That player has the Maven though, I'm pretty sure. I think that was the guy, or no, maybe it was a Breacher. That might have been the guy I saw in the kill feed with the Breacher. I think it was the Breacher. I'm not sure if this is the play. Like, sitting in the bush worked before, but I would just want to be holding this player. This is certainly not the play. The ice next to your bush. I feel like you're going to be sitting in a bush. Like, the element of surprise is the big thing, but now he knows where that player is, at least. It might actually help him. He kind of baited that player out and lost nothing for it since the ice wall recharges. Nice. That's all shield. This is a kill. Wow, that's actually... I'm surprised they won that. I don't like the way they played that, but it ended up working out for them. Awesome. But I think if this anime lady shot him in the back when he was leaving castle area, it would have been very hard for them to win that game. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. As always, if you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below if you would like to see me make a video kind of talking about that mythic llama backbling and kind of how you can increase your chances of getting the 10 kill wins you need for that backbling, because I've been asked about it a lot recently for whatever reason. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.